Welcome to the first ever episode on the Level Up podcast. My name is Weg, and this is
Bruno.
the audio guy, video guy, literally the whole team in one. He's the man. So, today we are going to talk about ourselves and where we come from, and he's going to ask me some questions on what I'm trying to do with this whole podcast thing. And I can't do it alone. I need a team. I already found the team. He's literally right here. Don't need anybody else. So, Bruno, what kind of questions you got for me, man?
So the first question I had on my list was pretty much I just wanted to know where you were from and basically what kind of environment that you grew up in and how that's so far impacted you.
You really want to know?
Yeah.
All right, so I wasn't born in America. I was born in Yemen. I came here when I was about, I think, 3 years old. I'm the only one out of my whole entire family that was born there besides my dad. All of my brothers and sisters, 8 of us, they were all just born here. And I came here when I was 3. I lived in the Bronx for 22 years, and I moved to California 2 years ago. So, 3 years
So
old.
what brought you to California?
We'll get to that later. Let's talk about the Bronx. Let's talk about where I'm from. And then I'll tell you why I came out here later down the road as soon as I hit 22. All right, what's the first question? Well, second question since I answered the first one.
Yeah, so on your website, you have basically a story that you were from Yemen and that you had to go back to Yemen for the year.
Oh, yeah. So that was honestly a very traumatizing experience, I guess, but it made me who I am today. And I went back to Yemen for a year when I was only supposed to be there for 2 months. So I went there for a year. I was sent back by my father because I failed a test. So I failed a test.
Yeah. So let's back that up.
Okay.
You failed the test.
I failed the test. And my dad thought I was getting too Americanized, and all of his brothers, which were my uncle, said, hey, send his ass to Yemen. He's getting too Americanized. So he sent me to Yemen because I failed the test. My father is very, very strict. He's not an ordinary father. I still don't talk to him to this day. So it's very hard. I mean, I forgave him for everything, but he still doesn't want to talk to me. I don't talk to him. I mean, I've tried, but sometimes you just have to let people come back into your life at their own timing. You can't really force it.
Yeah, at their own pace.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, he sent me back there for a fucking year because I failed the test.
Wow.
Literally.
What kind of test was it?
It was a state exam.
A state exam?
Yeah, so I was actually a straight A student. I was very, it was literally school, work, home, school, work, home. That was my life. And I've always had good grades. I was on the honor roll. I was very, very, very strictly educated. Go to school, become a doctor, do what you have to do, the end. And wow. I was having a really bad morning that day. I didn't feel good. I was already not in the mood to be even in school. And I still went because I had no other choice. And I remember just being in there and just fucking just A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Just fucking whatever. And I went home, knocked out.
Wow, that's pretty intense.
Yeah, I was,
stressful.
dude, I was so sick the next 3 days. Right after I got home, I literally did not get up for the next 3 days. I was so fucked up sick. I think I had the flu or the virus. I think it was a stomach virus. So the results came, and I failed. Straight A's, but I failed the state exam, so I had to go to summer school to retake it.
Yeah.
So he was just like, no, you're a failure. You're always going to be a failure.
He didn't let you retake it?
He didn't even want me there. He was like, go to Yemen. You're going to Yemen so you could fucking learn. And I was just like, what the hell? I was still a kid. I was still 16, I think.
And you said you were working. So where does a 16-year-old work?
Well, I started working when I was 8 years old.
Oh, what the hell?
So at 8 years old, my father used to wake me up at 4:30 a.m., be at the store at 5 a.m., and me and him would literally walk. Oh, he would actually literally drag me to work. And it was about 9 to 12 blocks. I think it was about 10 blocks away from our house, but it was long blocks, and it was fucking cold sometimes. It's New York. It's in the Bronx, so you have seasons. It does not matter if there was 5 inches of snow, hurricane. It does not matter. We have to open the store. So
Right.
8 years old, he'll wake my ass up like, yo, let's go to work. Come on, let's go. 8 years old, I already knew like how to give back change, how to take money, how to, play lotto, how to fucking sell cigarettes to people. Like I already knew all the basics of, a 16-year-old young man. I already learned it at 8 years old. So I did that for a very, very long time, bro. A very long time. And I was not even getting paid. Every time I did ask him for a pay, he would always be like, this is the family business. You have to do these things. You don't have to get paid for it. This is what you're supposed to do. And me, it's just like, as I grew and grew to like 16 years old, I'm like, damn, like I'm seeing these people buy nice Jordans, having really nice stuff, and they're not even working. Their mom and dad are just giving them shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Dad, can you buy me these shoes? I remember one time I was like, Dad, can you buy me these Nikes? They were like $110, bro. And he looked at me, he said, $110 could feed about 7 people in your village in Yemen. And I was just like, wow, okay, fair enough. Okay, fine. So I went to a VIM. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's literally a store with like cheap shoes and stuff. And I bought I forgot what I bought, but I bought some shoes for like $40-$50. And I ended up getting 2 pairs for $110. So I was like, okay, fine. I got 2 pairs instead of 1. And I wore them to school. I was getting laughed at. I was getting laughed at, bro. I was getting so much hate on the shoes. I would never forget that either. I was getting so much hate because they weren't name brand. They weren't Nike. They were just some regular whatever,
Yeah.
So then I really became more upset. I was like, I went back to him. I was like, they laugh at me. Like, I should have just bought, Nikes. I work for you. I should be getting paid. And still nothing. He was like, why? Why are they laughing at you? You have 2, they have 1. Why are they laughing at you? You're smarter. You saved another $50 and you bought another pair of shoes. You have more than them. So it stuck with me. Like, it doesn't really matter of the, quantity. It's just like you have more. And you should be more grateful. So he did teach me a lot of things as a young kid. I'm not going to sit here and say he's a bad guy. He's not. He just has a lot of work to do. Everybody has work to do.
So he really showed you that perspective of like the bargain. Right?
Yes.
You were able to get 2 different pairs of shoes. That's,
100%.
at minimum, that's 2 different outfits.
Mm-hmm.
Your shoes make an outfit, right? So he was able to show you that it wasn't always... that name brand, if you were able to get more out of less.
Yep. Oh, there were and ones.
And ones.
That's what they were. They were and ones.
I got picked on for
Yeah, they were and ones, bro. They were the white and blue ones, and then I had white and black ones. I had 2 pairs, bro, and they looked so good, and everybody was just like, what the fuck are these? These are fake Michael Jordans. I was like, whatever, bro.
I got that, and then I was wearing Shaqs.
Yeah, I used to wear Shaqs too.
Yeah, I got picked on pretty
Shaq, you gotta step up your game, man. Making us look bad.
I think he did. I think he's got Reebok now.
Yeah, he has Reebok. Reebok are pretty good. They're pretty comfortable. But yes, so he definitely taught me how to bargain, negotiate, be a hustler since a very young age. Since 8 years old, I already knew how to count. I honestly knew how to count before I knew how to read. So my grammar sucks ass, but I could count for days.
Yeah, so you think you could count to like 1,000?
I mean, give me $1,000, I could count it really quickly.
Like 1 through 1,000?
Really quickly.
Like right now?
Right now. For $1,000, I'll count it real quick. I'll count it in 30 seconds.
But okay, so working at a young age and getting picked on, your dad was harsh on you, you failed the test. So was it the hustling mentality that brought you to California?
Yes.
What was your goal coming here?
Honestly, if you told me I would be here, like where I'm at right now, 2 years ago when I first came here, I would probably look at you and be like, bro, you don't even know me. You're probably tweaking or something. You're on drugs. And it's honestly been quite of a journey and a crazy experience coming out here all alone. No friends, no family, and little to no money in my pocket or in my bank. It was very hard, but I feel like the hustler mentality that I developed since a young age made me who I am, and it just kept pushing me. Just because I had a bulletproof brain, it made me hustle a way that no other one in Orange County can say, yo, Weg is not a hustler. Weg is not a dedicated motherfucker. Like when I put my mind to something, there's no stopping me. So I feel like how I got to where I'm at was because of my father's harsh childhood, you know, fatherhood, if you want to say that, and also because I just want it so bad.
Yeah.
Like I don't chase money because it's gonna run. I attract money. I attract business. I attract new connections. I'm a big manifester, but I'm also a very, very hardworking young man. So where I'm at today, people would probably just look at my Instagram and be like, "Oh, trust fund," or "Oh, he probably came up in crypto," or "He probably did this," or "Probably did that." Honestly, I worked my ass off every fucking day since I first moved out here. I remember when I first moved out here, I didn't have any job. I was spending all my money on my ex, and I was doing OnlyFans. I was doing a couple of girls, fixing their marketing, doing stuff for them. I got tired of that shit, and then I met this guy that had like a weed maps company, and I didn't have a card.
What's weed maps?
So basically, you could literally order. You know how Grubhub or
yeah.
what's that app that you DoorDash?
DoorDash.
But you can do it for weed. You can literally DoorDash weed. It's on Weed Maps. And there's different stores on Weed Maps.
It's got to be like an
It's
legal
legal.
state.
Oh, no, it's legal. You're in California, so weed is legal.
Yeah.
But he has a license and everything. So he was looking for a driver. So I was like, all right, I have no money. I can't buy a car. So how the fuck am I going to do this? So I went and I financed a bike. A 390 Duke KTM. And I started working for him doing deliveries. So I would be on this bike for 12, 15, 16 hours a day, driving everywhere, like everywhere in Orange County, sometimes even 30 minutes away on a bike. By the time I would clock out, my glutes would be so fucking sore, bro. Like, just imagine being, like, on a bike for 13 hours.
Yeah, I can't.
Like, your ass will hurt, bro. Like, it will just hurt. And the reason I did it for, like, a couple of months, I think I did it for 2-3 months, is because it was tax-free. Like, it was just, they paid me cash. They lived in the same building I did. Boom, 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 easy transaction, made a couple of money, and that's when I got into crypto. So once I got into crypto, that's when everything started to, like, all right, like, level up a little bit, slowly but surely. But I invested in Shiba, I think a couple of $100, and I made, like, 27,000 just off one coin. Yeah.
And was it just like a fuck it moment, or
no,
did
so
you actually put some thought into it?
I was always into Forex. I was always into the charts since a very young age as well. Even back in the Bronx, I remember I was in an academy called Empire or something like that. I am Academy. And I was always already doing videos. I've always loved doing content. I just didn't know what my niche was or what I was supposed to do. You know? I just loved being the one that was talking and impacting. And sharing.
But what got you like into it?
Into content?
Yeah. Like what sparked it initially?
Honestly,
was it like seeing a YouTuber, or?
I've seen a lot of YouTubers like speaking about their past and stuff, but I haven't found a YouTuber besides Andrew Tate now that has been through a really, 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 really fucked up situation and came out of that and started making content for the people that are stuck in his position that he was once in. So I was like, you know what? I have a crazy story. Like, I came from nothing. Like, I was in Yemen for a whole year in a civil war, eating beans out of a fucking can with 8 people in a mountain, ducking missiles, and like, it was very traumatizing. And then I thought about it. I was like, yo, like, if I just made content, I can probably reach someone in Yemen. I could reach someone in Syria. I could reach people anywhere I want in the world the fastest way and still impact them and bring them up since they have nobody. I don't know if you hear what's happening in these third world countries, but there's literally kids losing moms and fathers very easily, bro. Like, it's just like, I don't know, like, it's very sad. Like, one day they could be with their mom, the next day their house gets bombed, and now they're left with nothing. Like, who's there for them?
Terrible.
So, and again, as I was growing up, like, I've always been taught to always appreciate what you have and not what you want. So I know that if I was to make content, which I'm finally doing so, thanks to you and helping me out with this, I really do appreciate that, by the way. It's just a matter of time where I can actually impact young men and young kids and even women that have been in the same situation I was in. So
Right.
that's the whole point of making this podcast. It's not just to talk about business. It's to talk about emotions. It's to talk about relationships. It's to talk about controversial conversations. It's to talk about everything that's going on in the world as a whole.
Just
And
real shit.
yeah, real shit. Like, fuck the fake news. Fuck CNN. Fuck all that shit. Just real, genuine talks with genuine people.
Right.
And I know that just that happening, that energy that's going to be happening right here, like this is happening, will impact someone in the world. And honestly, I don't give a fuck about the money. Money's gonna come. But if I impact one person out of 10, even one person out of 1,000, I can probably sleep better at night.
Mm.
You know, I can probably like literally sleep better at night.
And I saw you had the new cooling pillow too, so
I
that
did.
might help a little bit.
And a new comfort set. But yes, that does even help. No, it literally doesn't. I have trouble sleeping sometimes because I'm just like, my brain is just always going, bro. It's
Million
just
miles a minute.
always going. Like, what's the next step? Like, what's the next thing to do? Like, I'm never satisfied. And sometimes it's bad and sometimes it's good. But in my mind, I think it's awesome. I think that, you know, like me not being able to settle down for less or me not being able to settle down for, you know, what's going on right now. Like, I know I could always do better.
Right.
You know, and that's what pushes me, and that's why I'm here today in this moment with the things that I have and the things that I will have. This is the key. Like, the key to success is literally being disciplined and frequency. Just keep it frequent. Keep
Right.
it consistent, and you'll get to wherever you want to go to. You know, but no gas, then you won't stop. You know, just keep your pedal on the gas, and, you know, you'll soon be where you want to be. But yeah.
So for somebody who's always moving and, you know, never satisfied, what should we or even the viewers expect to see as a result of the podcast? Like, is it just going to be a podcast where you're just getting people on, you're talking about these events, you're talking about, you know, their traumas, their stories? Is that all that it's to become, or what do you plan on doing with your platform in general?
Besides impacting everybody,
Well, so that could be like your ultimate goal.
that is my ultimate
Right.
goal, is to
But
literally impact.
Is it just going to be with a podcast?
It's going,
Or what kind of content should the audience
Okay, I
expect
get what
to
you're
see
saying.
from you? Yeah.
So, honestly, I'm a funny guy. I love to have fun as well. So, besides doing podcast, I would love to do interviews on the street of different perspectives from women, men, talking about controversial things. And those are pretty funny to me because I sit here and I watch some guy ask people about Andrew Tate, you know, and he's asking these women, and these women have a crazy reaction. It's like, most of our women are honestly brainwashed, and so are men. But I feel like this podcast can teach women and can teach men how to be men and women again. Because in today's society, I feel like men have become more feminine and women have become more masculine. And again, in certain situations, that's fine, but not every situation. At the end of the day, I do believe that men and women are completely different. They are.
Right.
They're just different. But most women will say, we're the same. We're supposed to be equally same. We are. Okay, you guys are the same to a certain extent, but men and women are totally different. And I feel like with this podcast, it can reunite that and rekindle what are women supposed to do and what are men supposed to do. You know,
Right.
men are providers, protectors, and women, you know, they raise our kids. They make sure that they're safe. They make sure that, you know, there are peace. You know, it's not the other way around. Nowadays, you go shake a man's hand, and it feels like a bitch, and you go shake a woman's hand, it feels like a man. So it's like, come on, like, it just has to go back to the way things were, but in a modern way. And I feel like
Yes.
that's...
So what exactly do you mean back to the way that they were?
Well, if you ask a woman what does she want from a man, she's going to say everything that's a traditional way. of living. You know, she's gonna be like, I want a man to have this, to have that, and that's tradition. That's literally a
Right.
tradition man. But if you tell a woman what you want, it's not really traditional anymore to them because they've been brainwashed by music, videos, etc. And it's just not the same anymore. And I feel like I have a voice and I've been through a lot of experiences with women that I have became more than absolutely ready to talk about and to even argue about why women are the way they are and why men are the way they are. And I don't just say things just to say them. I have statistics, analysis, and facts that I can contribute to whatever I'm saying. So that's what the podcast is going to be about in that category. But in other words, it's going to be a fun podcast to watch. Like, it's going to be very entertaining. Down the road, once things start to pick up, I would love to do some pranks.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do some pranks.
What's like a good prank idea?
They'll see. I'll tell you
Oh, no,
later.
no, no. Come on.
I don't know. You know, I really do want to dress up as the Prince of Dubai and hire like 50 security guards, get some Lambos, and just go to the mall and just everybody just thinks I'm the Prince of Dubai. And I just want to see their reaction. Like, I just want to see like what would Newport people think if the Prince of Dubai came to their city.
And you just rent like 20 Lambos.
Just get it going.
Security Lambos. They're just
Everything.
showing up in,
Shirts that say
my-
security, Instagram, YouTube is on there, and we just go all out.
Oh.
And we pick a winner so we could buy him a Rolex. I don't know, something like that. Giveaway.
That'd be cool.
You know, I don't know, something like that. Like something really, really like, oh wow, like he really did that. That's fucking crazy. Like that's always been a side thing that I always wanted to do once I'm into YouTube. But yeah,
For sure. Now, I see on your Instagram that you're always doing something interesting. Like you were on a boat, you were in Joshua Tree, you know, you're traveling around, you're seeing things. Do we expect, or can we expect content to come as a result of that as well? Are you gonna-
vlogging will be a major, 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 major part of the YouTube channel.
Now, are you just going to do like travel vlogs, or are you going to
It's
do
going to be more,
lifestyle vlogs?
yes, it's going to be lifestyle and travel. I am building a house with a couple of my mentors in Cabo because I don't want to live in the States. I think the States is garbage. I think living here, you have to be scared of the tax man. You have to be scared of all kinds of people, and you're not even safe wearing a AP down the street in LA. Like, you can't, you'll get robbed. So I don't think I would ever want to raise my children here. Maybe in Mexico, maybe in Dubai, maybe even in Romania next to Andrew Tate. I don't know. Doesn't matter, but I just don't want to be here. So that's why I'm building a house right now in Cabo. And I'm there practically every 2 months or every month so I can make sure that everything is going good and, you know, the house is getting built the right way. But most definitely I will be taking, you know, my subscribers or any new subscribers that come forward everywhere I go, you know? And it's not just about vlogging, it's just showing you guys that there's a whole new world that you guys can experience if you really concentrated and became very disciplined in what you want to do. Like, if I could do it, why can't you do it? Why can't she do it? Why can't he
So you
do
wanna
it?
show the cause
So
and
I
effect.
exactly, like, we're all living in the Matrix. I'm still kind of in it. There's a
now,
whole
when you say
new world.
Matrix, I hear you say Matrix a lot. Do you mean like red pill, blue pill Matrix, like Neo,
Yes.
like Keanu Reeves Matrix?
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that for me?
I think that the Matrix was built to keep us sustained and in line because the government or anybody above the government, and I might even be killed for saying this shit, I don't know. But I feel like, or I honestly, fuck that. I know that there's someone on top of the government who controls everything. You ever go into an airport when it's dead? There's nobody there because of Corona or whatever it was,
Right.
and they still have lines. They don't.
Yeah.
There's no need for those lines, but it's to keep you in line. It's to keep you in line. It's to put authority on you. So in my mind, I've always thought about it like, what if you broke that? What if you were your own person, your own thoughts? What if you were outside of the Matrix? And that's why I kind of really like to watch Andrew Tate. I don't agree with everything, but I agree with most of the things. What if you were outside the Matrix looking upon? Like, how would
If you were
would you,
observing.
yeah, like, would you see a whole different world from there? Like, would you start to see things that you've never seen before?
Would it be like watching ants in an ant colony?
I think so.
Now, if the Matrix movie or the Matrix series never came out, they were never
I would have made
put
one.
into movie theaters.
I would have made one.
Would you still be calling it the Matrix?
I would call it whatever it needs to be called in order to put it out there. If it needs to be rats versus cage, then that's what's gonna be. You know, like I don't know, something, whatever it is. I'm just gonna come up with something. You know, if someone's not gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. You know, but the Matrix is a really nice word, so that's why I always use
It is
it.
a pretty badass word.
It is.
And then he's like doing the thing where he's like leaning back, dodging the bullets.
Yeah.
It's pretty great. It's pretty great. You know, I always thought that it was Tom Cruise who played Neo.
Really?
Yeah, I think Family Guy did that for me. I always thought it was Tom Cruise. And then I saw the newest Matrix movie. I was like,
That's not
Keanu
Tom
Reeves. I was like, wait
He's
a
a
minute.
badass.
Wait a damn minute. What do you mean Keanu Reeves? Has it always been Keanu Reeves? And yeah, it has.
I could see the similarity. Once
I
finish this
fucking can't. I can't. But I guess it was like an episode of Family Guy. Mm-hmm. Tom Cruise, you know, he's like a dwarf in Family Guy, and he's always running. And I guess they made a joke about him losing his role in the Matrix or as Neo. And ever since then,
I do think that Keanu Reeves did a way better. Even if Tom Cruise was to do, I think man.
Yeah, he can stick to Top Gun.
Yeah, he can for sure.
Well, we went ahead and got through all of the questions on the list. Do you have anything else you want to do? Elaborate on anything?
I do want to say one thing. In this life or the afterlife, I do believe there's an afterlife. I don't think this is the only life that you live. I think you live every single day. I think you die once. So you live every day. People say you only YOLO, you know, you only live once. I think that's bullshit. I think you live every day, you die once. So what you do every single day to keep your name intact with a legendary subject that people can talk about you of is something that you guys should be working towards for. You know, it's not having the best car, it's not having the best house, it's not having the best looking women. It's honestly none of that shit. Once you have money, you can accumulate all of that in about 2.3 seconds.
Right.
It's not that hard.
Right.
But what you leave under your name, like I want a legendary name, bro. Like I don't want to be known as, oh yeah, he was Weg, whatever, you know, cool.
Where did your name even come from, Weg?
So my original first name was Jibril, which means Gabriel. But I wasn't I'm the firstborn, but there was one before me, but he died at 2 months. So my dad and mom had me, and my mom named me Jibril again, and my dad was like, no, because that's the name of the first one that died. We don't want to name him that. So in Arabic, my name is Wijdan. It means wisdom. In Arabic, that's what it means.
I like that.
But everybody called me Weg because it's just hard to pronounce, and I've always stuck with Weg. So when people ask me, what's your name? I'm like, leg, but with a W. That's all I take. Weg. And they're like, okay, cool. Nice. Weg. Unique. I'm like, all right, cool. But, yeah, I mean, my message is to just find something that you're really good at and stick with it. And there's always going to be haters. Like, no matter what you do, people are always going to talk about you. People are always going to make you look bad. It doesn't fucking matter. It really doesn't. What matters is what you think about yourself. And if you think you're a high-valued woman, if you think you're a high-valued man, then you keep doing what you're doing and block off that negative energy, because that negative energy can alternate with who you are as a person. Trust me, it really does. But you have to be strong enough and spiritual enough to not allow it to. And once you develop that block of aura, that energy that you have to protect you and to uplift you, it's going to be very, very, very difficult. And also, you cannot do this without God. I don't care what atheist watches this or who thinks that God is not real. God is real. If there's a devil, there's a God. You have to believe in God, and you also have to protect yourself with energy by being spiritual. Manifesting is only a part of it, but doing the work and also praying. Praying has been a big factor of my life, and I still think to this day I don't do enough of it, which that's what I'm working on now. if you have those things and you play right by those things and you work hard, you can achieve anything you want in this life. And if you're a good person and you did good in this life, then your afterlife will be a million times better than what you lived.
I agree.
And that's just the way that's how I think about things, and that's how I was raised. So that's why I try to be the best man I can be and the best version of myself.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that's it. My name is Weg, and that's who I am.